Oh, I'm live. Okay. What is happening? Oh, I'm watching, I'm seeing the live in delay. Sorry, guys. Alright, so hey, it's Steph here from North Shore Bronco. And you guys are here to see my shaft and how I broke it and what I learned from the whole experience. If you're here during my last live, you'll notice that the camera setup is a bit better, but it's still not what I wanted. I was trying to set up my other camera last minute, it didn't work. That's why I'm like 2 minutes late, so sorry about that. And I'm not even 100% sure I'm talking to anyone right now. So if you're in the chat, just send me a message to let me know that you can hear me. I'm pretty sure it's working. But, like I said, I'm pretty new at these lives. Says I'm live. Okay, says there's 7 people on. Just throw a hi or anything in the chat if you guys can hear and see me. I don't know. Oh, there we go. The sound is iffy. Here, give me a sec. I'm just going to change my mic. Once I set up this roll mic, put it. There's a great mic stand socket, and just gonna adjust add the microphone. Or actually, it should be all right. Is it better, Ed? Oh, the mic wasn't plugged in all the way. It should be better now. Hopefully. Better. Okay, good. All right, so you guys are here to see what happened with my drive shaft. If you haven't seen the video, it was last weekend. I went out on a run. It was pretty challenging, especially for what I've done so far. Not everybody. Yeah, it's probably just the room I'm in. I'm gonna get a better mic that's just here, but yeah, I'm in a big empty garage, so. So anyways, long story short, watch the video from last weekend. I went on a run. It was very challenging. I tried a lot of new stuff. I'm not a very experienced off-roader. I tried to pull out some people I shouldn't have pulled out, so I deviated a few tires. But I'm actually happy that happened because then I got to learn how to get the tire back on the rim. And I had a lot of great people helping me out, so that was good. Then later on in the run, I broke my axle shaft, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I did that. So we were going to turn around because we had taken the wrong kind of path in the woods, and as I was turning around, I sunk down to the frame. And because I was turning, like I was in the process of turning left, both my wheels were cut pretty much hard left. My buddy Dave pulled up in front of me with his Jeep, and I hooked up my winch to him, and I was trying to winch myself out, pulling myself towards him, and I was just pulling his Jeep towards me, so it really wasn't doing anything. So I engaged my front locker, and I went to check to straighten my wheels out, but my steering was my steering wheel was showing straight. So I kind of thought my wheels were straight, but I looked down and I saw that my left wheel was all the way to the left. And then I wanted to straighten it out, but I couldn't move. My steering was kind of stuck because my wheels were jammed in the snow. But for some reason in my mind, and I think because there's so much talk about people breaking tie rods, my first thought was my steering wheel is straight, I broke a tie rod. I just thought I broke a tie rod and my tire was swung out to the left and the other one was straight. So I was like, all right, I'll just drive myself out of here and I'll figure it out. So I still have my front locker on. And I don't know why I was thinking that. So I was winching and front locker was on, trying to go kind of like forward, but because where Dave was on the right, it was kind of like going this way, you know what I mean? And because the Bronco, this was the right-hand side, that side was closest because the angle that I was at, all the pressure ended up on that side. And then I ended up with, I heard 2 pops, and then if you watch the video, I think it was Steve or somebody comes by and says, do you have front lockers? And I was like, yeah. He's like, do you think they're on right now? I was like, yeah, they're on. He's like, well, they're not. So then I knew something was wrong, and we disconnected from Dave because it was still pulling the Jeep. I hooked up to a tree, and then I almost pulled the tree down, so we had to loop around a few other trees. But then that I was able to pull myself out, and I had a look, and yeah, one of my axles had broken, and because that axle was broken, the 4-wheel drive system is advanced, and it just shut everything off. It said 4-wheel drive not available. So then I was stuck in 2-wheel, rear-wheel drive, but 3 or 4 kilometers in the woods trying to get out. Here, I'm going to pick up the shaft and show you guys the damage up close. Hopefully the camera focuses on it. There. So see here, there's supposed to be little ball bearings in all these slots. But by the time I took it apart, there was only 3 balls left, and that's the damage. So the inner, I don't know what you call this, maybe a pinion, not damaged at all. It's just this case here, this here broke. So that broke, and then a couple balls came out, and then it would just free spin. So this is the chunk that came off. Sorry, I know it's bright. And my balls. So I think there's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's supposed to be 6 of these. But there was only 3 left by the time I took it apart. And this is the casing that goes on top here. I'll show you guys that. So a little chunk came off right here. And if you look right here, it actually split it open. Okay, so bit of echo, that echo all of a sudden. Phone or laptop speaker might be on. Oh, was it echoing? I wonder. One sec. I'm just going to check the sound real quick. Make sure it's only coming from testing. Okay, is that better? I think my desktop audio was on, and now I just switched it to microphone only. Still learning this stuff. I'm better at breaking Broncos than I am at Livestream, I'm so sorry. Okay, you guys can still hear me? It's so slow tonight. Okay, from what I can see, it should be good. Open. Still echoing. Okay. And still echoing from another source. Do you have your laptop sound on? Yeah. I'm not hearing myself. I'm wondering if it's coming from the camera. Because I have this new HDMI capture, but I thought, video capture device. Oh yeah. There. Audio mixer. There we go. Now I should only have sound coming from the mic. Sorry about that. Hey, at least I got the full screen now for video. That last stream was, I only had like a little square or something. So I think it should be good now. Anyway, okay, so Zeph, you had a question. Do you think you could have saved the axle if you had turned the front locker off and taken some stress off of it? 1000% yes. It was 100% my fault. And that's why I didn't even try to claim warranty. There we go. Perfect. All right, now I got my little, this is a socket. My socket to hold my mic. But at least I got a good road mic, so. Okay, good. All right, hey Ed, Justin. Oh, Fire Dad, hey, how's it going, man? Jessica. All right, thanks for watching. Okay, so Zeph, could I have saved it? Yes, 100%, 1000% yes. I was, because of the way that I was turned. Oh, wait, so the side that broke is the side that's closest to the Bronco. So it was like this, and then because of the way the wheels were turned, it was like, you know, it was hard like this, and then the Bronco was kind of tilted as well, so it was like this too, so all the pressure, and then you try to turn this, it's just going to bind. And I wasn't just driving, I was winching myself out too. So it was like the winch was pulling, putting pressure on that axle, and then I tried to drive forward. It was just binded up, and it just, you hear it in the video. It's very faint because I only caught it with my dash cam, so I kind of put the pop, but you do hear two pops. So, and what I think that is the inner braking, and then maybe even the little piece coming off, or it could be one of these balls that just kind of flew out. So the correct thing, if I went back, is when I looked down and I saw that my tire was, was hard cut to one side, I should have stopped. I shouldn't have put my front locker on, first off. You should only put your front locker on, really, ideally, your wheels should be straight because you don't want to put extra pressure on those axles. And you know, I have a winch. Winching myself out, I shouldn't need the front locker at this point. The winch should be able to get me out enough to be able to get, you know, those front tires back onto the road. And I was so stuck in a hard chunk of snow that really I should have even got out and shoveled it a little bit so I could put my wheel straight before attempting to get out. But, so 100% my fault. But it was like towards the end of the day, we were almost out of the trail. We were about, I don't know, maybe, well, not almost, but we were making good progress because we kind of had passed all the people that were getting stuck and staying behind, and a lot of people had turned around at this point. So I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, I was just in a hurry and I wasn't thinking straight and I broke it. So But now that I have done that, you know, I'm not saying I'll never break an axle again, but I know why it happened. I had lots of discussions with Dave. I'm sure you guys have seen Dave in the video. He's got the gray Jeep that was in front of me. I told him about it at the beginning. So, and that's what he was saying. Like he remembers seeing my wheels were cut, and yeah, that's what happened. So I don't think it's necessarily a big limitation. Like, oh, Bronco shafts are breaking left and right. I looked online and I saw maybe 2 other people have broken them, and they were hard wheeling them as well. Or I think there was one person that he may have had a bad one, because he said he was just in a gravel parking lot or something like that. But they don't like, the front locker doesn't like angles, which I didn't know. I thought most of the day I was driving with it on or off or whatever, but in the snow it actually drives a lot better straight if you don't have it on sometimes, because your wheels will just adjust where the traction goes. So from now on I will only use it if I need it, and just be more careful about wheel placement. And also, you know, doing some research, people with Jeeps, anybody with front lockers can do this. It's just the way I was, it was obviously going to break. I should have known, and I didn't. I just broke it. So that's it. So let me know if you have any more questions on the axle, the CV joint. That's rough. Lunchbox lock. Yeah. So it's just about experience. I mean, the wheeling I do, a lot of people do rock crawling and stuff that I see online, and they're breaking a lot of tie rods and stuff. They're bumping things. For us here on the northern East Coast, I guess, it's snow wheeling is the big fun thing to do. But you know, we got different problems and different strategies that I'm still learning. But I learned a lot that weekend. And same with debeating 2 tires. I was down to 5 psi, and I was trying to tow out a Jeep, a 4-door Jeep, who had 1-ton axles on that Jeep. So it's not just the weight of a Jeep. With 44-inch tires, he was sunk down to the frame, and then I was trying to tug him out, and then I got caught, and then I tried to winch him and myself out on another Jeep. And if you watch the video, I'm just pulling that little Jeep towards us. I mean, that's all sorts of dumb. And at the same time, as I was winching him, I was hitting on the gas and trying to get some traction and spinning those tires. I ended up losing the bead on the 2 tires that were on the side because I was kind of on a cant like that. So that was my fault as well. But now I know. Yeah, like Ed is saying, maybe if I would have backed up, I always try to rock it. I have a standard, so I always try to like rock myself, and like even if you only move like a millimeter, it's better to turn your wheels while you're moving. Even if you're just moving a little bit, it's a lot easier on the front end to move your front wheels. So I did try that, but I was just sunk. I was sunk right down. And skidoos had gone by, obviously, in the woods before and packed it down. So some spots were like hard as a rock under the snow, and other parts were soft. And that's usually where we got caught, is if you kind of like slipped off the trail a little bit, so that you were kind of in the soft snow, but your frame was hard up against the hard snow. So that's usually where we got caught, where it kind of mixed a bit. Fire Dad is asking if I change anything else other than driving habits for it to not happen. You can. They have Spicer axles that are guaranteed for life, and they're a lot beefier, but I think Canadian, they're like $4,000 or $5,000 for a set. And that, I think $4,000 or $5,000 was the cheapest. I've seen them all the way up to like $10,000 for a set. So obviously once you upgrade to those, if you ever break them, they'll send you a new one, or I'm not sure how their warranty works, but yes, you can upgrade, but is it worth it? Not for me right now, especially knowing that this happened because of something stupid that I did. And these are about 5 something Canadian. I work at a dealership, so I get, you know, slightly better price, but I also what was I going to say? If you break an axle, you better order it now, because there was only 2 left in Canada and the States when I checked, and I think I got one of the last ones, so they're hard to get, but it's a lot cheaper than like a Spicer one, and I'd have to break it another, you know, 7 times for the Spicer ones to be worth it. And realistically, now that I know what I did, I don't think I'll have an issue unless it's a fluke or I'm going out real hard, but I think I'll be fine for now. Zeph, are you on Vancouver's North Shore? Since I started this channel, I've realized that everywhere in the world has a North Shore, because everybody asks me if I'm part of their North Shore. Sorry, no, I'm not in Vancouver. I'm in New Brunswick. So New Brunswick on the East Coast. I'm in Bathurst, New Brunswick, so it's North Shore of New Brunswick. And the snow here, from what I see in videos, it's slightly different than Vancouver and BC. It looks like a different type of snow wheeling, so both look fun. But yeah, I always watch the Story Till Now and KC250 and those guys, so yeah. Okay, if you have any more questions, let me know, but I'll just talk a little bit about, before I go, about the replacement. I did it yesterday, and I did it in this garage. Yes, it's tight. That video will be out next weekend. It went pretty good. Something to add in your toolkits, I did not have the correct socket. I had my socket set goes up to 32 mil. I thought it'd be okay, but you need a 34 mil socket. I borrowed this from my neighbor Bill. Actually, he didn't even have a 34. This is a 36 mil. So, but I was able to get it off with that. You're also supposed to replace the axle nut when you take it off, because it's like a it's like a friction nut or whatever. It's a one-time use. I didn't replace mine because they only had USA stock. Mine is still on order. I ordered 2 actually, so I'll have an extra one. When it comes in, I'll pop off, I'll take the tire off, swap out the nut, no big deal. So those are 2 things that I learned from the install. I know that Mitch from Wild Broncos. Anyway, he has a video that he does it too, and he had to disconnect the sway bar links and move those out of the way. I was able to get it in without doing that, but I did like bend it quite a bit to get it past that. And I didn't mind doing that, because like they say not to bend it, but it's, you know, there's no force on it while you're just putting it in. It's not turning, there's no pressure. So to me, it was fine to do that, and everything's been alright since I installed it. So I was able to get in, and yeah, the rest I cover in the video anyway. But wasn't too bad, and I really wanted to do it myself in my garage, because I want to get a feel for it on if it would be capable of doing it on the trail. Like if I went on a long expedition or something and you'd bring these big parts with you just in case. It would be doable on the trail if you had all the tools for it, which would be pretty easy. You just need like an impact, electric impact, and a few sockets, a few wrenches. But you would need a good high lift jack, and it would be really good to have a second person there helping you. So, because I did it by myself, but you're going to see, I'm out of shape, and I was struggling quite a bit to lift the caliper, the knuckle, and the rotor and the hub and everything. Trying to put it in, put the bolt in, get the nut on. It's a lot easier if you have two people, or even if I would have had like a small bottle jack or something. And I do have one. Since I cleaned my garage, I don't know where I put it. So. When are you going 40s on the Bronco? Well, I'm going to break a couple more axles and tie rods before I switch to 40s, I think. So, I don't know, it's tempting to go 40s because those guys that I was wheeling with last week, like, I got a 5-inch lift and 37s on the Bronco, and I felt like I had like the smallest machine there. So, but, here's something interesting. A bunch of those guys, they'll run to like 40s, 44s, 48s, like all those big tires in the winter, just for snow wheeling. In the summer, they switch back down to like 37s or 35s because those tires are so expensive. They don't want to burn them off in the summer, and they don't need as much clearance in the summer. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I don't know. I might keep my eye open for like a used set of 40s that I just put on for snow wheeling. That'd be fun. I'll make sure they have some more axles in stock though. Our East Coast wheeling is way different. Yeah. Yeah. I see on the West Coast I always see them like plowing through snow. We don't get that fluffy snow here. It just falls and it's heavy and you sink and it's slushy, and you know, we usually wait till the spring so that we can kind of try to float on top and air down so much that we just kind of pack it down. It's fun though. But I would love to try West Coast snow wheeling too, because it looks like a completely different game. I noticed the Irving KFC in an older vid and figured you were from Bathurst. I'm in Listigee. I don't know if that's Listigee. I don't know. That might be a typo. Or might not. We got some odd places around here. And just did some trail busting up the woods here, and your videos gave me a good idea what it can handle. Oh yeah, no, I'm surprised. I mean, I was keeping up, like the guys that I was wheeling. A lot of the guys that I was wheeling with, their experience, and you know, they. I'm not going to say they were impressed by the Bronco, but they were surprised to see that I made it out the other side, because I think about 40 of us showed up, and maybe a little over half made it through. A lot of people turned around. A lot of people were stuck still at the beginning of the trail come supper time, from what I heard, and had to turn around. Just mostly the bigger rigs that would just sink down and were too heavy. But yeah, pretty impressed with the Bronco. I mean, I just need more experience wheeling, and I'm getting that every time I go out. And so far it's only cost me an axle and, you know, some dings and dents and scratches and stuff, but it's I think it's a great skill to have. Yeah, but it's good to learn all the new stuff. Sway bar off makes a world of difference though. Are you talking about sway bar? Are you talking about while you're wheeling or while you're changing the axle? Because yeah, I always have it disconnected. I have a sway bar disconnect on my Badlands, so I disconnect it every time I'm wheeling. But across from Campbellton, okay. This too good. But is that how you spell it though? Listuguj? So you're from around like Cross Point and something like that. Okay, right on. Yeah, we'll have to you'll have to come down on a run sometime, or if there's a run going up there, send me a message and I'll check it out. I think some people just like watching stuff break on these Broncos. Oh yeah, no, I know. My video last weekend just titling Broken, I knew it would attract a lot of Bronco owners, but I know that it was a little bit more broad, and a lot of Jeep people would jump on because they just want to see something break, right? And I think some people are disappointed that I'm fully admitting that it was my fault. I think they would rather just think that the Broncos just are crap and they just break. But no, this is my fault. I put it in the worst condition, winch, 12,000 pound winch, pulling against that axle. Let's throw the front locker on and just fucking, oops, sorry, and just give her, you know, so my bad. Anyway, maybe watch the ad. If you watch that video, watch the ads so it can help me pay for my axle. So that's about it. I don't know, it's been interesting. It gave me something to do. It gave me a couple extra videos to make and talk about, but I'm just kind of happy that it happened on a fun run like that and not like on a 3 or 4 day camping trip or overlanding trip. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but I'm kind of happy it happened because I learned a lot. And if you go to Bronco 6G, go to the forums. I posted my video there, and there's a lot of discussion in that forum, as well as, well, the usual bickering and fighting that people have about opinions. But there's a lot that I learned from what people were saying in the forums as well. A lot of people are talking about the off-roadios, how they were saying not to drive with the front lockers on all the time. You get to your obstacle, make sure your wheels are straight, you turn your locker on, you conquer your obstacle, you turn your locker off. So, which is not, I don't know, I didn't really realize that's how you're supposed to use a front locker, but now I know. So lots of info on the forums as well. But yeah, happy it happened. So with all the education, so I wonder if I could use that as an education write-off. So I heard you say you always disconnect your sway bar. You should keep it connected unless you need the extra articulation, as it keeps the suspension for or extending it is easier on the axle. Yeah, you're right. I like having it disconnected because it makes a smoother ride too, I find. So, sorry if this is off topic, but I have a winch question. I have the same hidden winch set up you're running. Wonder if you have come up with a solution for free spool. Yes and no. So right now what I do, I almost want to get like a stinger in the front or the bull bar or whatever, so that after the first time I use the winch, instead of winching it all back in if I'm on the trail all day, I just wrap it around there. And sometimes I just kind of loop it and shove it in my shackles so that I don't have to unspool the whole thing. But that's dangerous because if it falls out and wraps around a wheel, well, that's no good. And for the free spool, I did take my winch out and I relocated the control box in the hood. Excuse me. And while I was doing that, I looked at the handle for the free spool. It's just a little Allen bolt. You can pop that off. So you could design like a rod or a tube or something to put instead of the handle that would extend to the top of the hood. And I've been meaning to do that. Do I have? Anyway, I kept a piece of pipe that I found, and I am going to do that, but I think all I'm going to do really is take like an L, like a bar, and then zap strap it to the handle and keep it straight and put a couple zap straps so that it's on top so that I can just open the hood and free spool from there. But I hate having to open the hood and stuff. Usually when I'm using my winch, I'll use it like 3 or 4 times during the run to either winch other people out or myself out. So yeah, the free spooling kind of sucks. But and another thing that I do if I'm on my own, which is not the best, I guess, but I have a strap, not a kinetic one, but just a regular tow strap and a tree saver. Like instead of bringing my winch all the way out, I'll use the strap to kind of give myself more room from a tree. So I just kind of put up with it. Other than that, Usually if I'm stuck, my front end goes down, I'll shut the Bronco off, I just stick my arm down and pull it out. So, but I do have a video on the winch controller box relocation. It's half filmed, but I have 2 other things I want to finish before I put that video out, because I rerouted the winch controller connector to inside the cab, but I didn't really drill a hole for it yet. It's just kind of like tied there for now. So I want to finish that for the video, and I want to do my little rig that I was talking about for the free spool, and then I'll release that video. So yeah, there. Anything else? Did everybody see? Did everybody see the drive shaft? I know some people just showed up now. Oh, and the other thing, real quick, is I'm gonna keep this, because right now you have to buy the whole assembly, but I'm hoping that in the future maybe you could just buy this coupling, or I don't know, I might clean it up and see if there's any serial numbers or anything, because they must use it must be used for something else. So if I could find something to kind of put this back together, like I see some stampings on here, if I could put it back together for a spare, even if it only costs like half of what I paid for it, it would just be nice to have a spare. So if anybody has any experience with CV shafts and that, and what to look for to find serial numbers, let me know. And we can try to figure that out. Because the rest of it is fine. Yeah. Ed. Yeah, for sure. Ed, were you on the Gas Bay trip with Virgil? You're with the Bronco? Next thing we have to learn is replacing the serpentine in the field. Yeah, I think next thing we need to learn is how to clean out the alternator in the field. Yes, okay, right on it, yeah. No, yeah, I gotta look into his Gas Bay trip this year, because it'd be fun to go. It's just hard to get that much time off for me, but it'd be kind of cool to have 2 Broncos on there if you guys are going again. Okay, well, I think I've talked about my shaft as much as I can talk about it, unless anybody else has any questions or anything. I think I've been pretty straightforward on why it happened. I'll probably edit this live down and take out all the pauses and stuff, so if anybody missed the beginning or whatever, you can watch it again after. But yeah, I'm fairly confident I know why it happened. The install video coming out next week is pretty detailed on how to do it. It's pretty easy to do. So that separates into 2 halves. I messed my driver's front CV axle, and when I was messing with it, it separates. So I'm keeping mine for a spare as well. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Jean-Philippe. Hey, buddy. Hey, Chum, it still sucks that you broke that axle, but like you said, you learn everything. You go wheeling. Happy to help you with your tires too. Yes, thanks. If you watch the video, Jean-Philippe is... he's the guy, big help with the tires when they debeaded, and at the end, the second one there, he's the one that I helped pull out. So thanks for stopping by, and yeah, thanks for all the help. And yeah, I think I'm gonna call her a night. I'm gonna clean up the garage a little bit and get ready for Monday tomorrow. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming by and helping me figure out at the beginning too the microphone setup, so the next live will be even better. Little improvements every time. So All right, good night, guys. We'll see you later.